독해의 맥 3권에서 리뉴어블 에너지 소스를 반절만 공부했다. 따라서 독해의 맥 4권에서는 먼저 리뉴어블 에너지 소스의 나머지 부분을 완성한다. 그리고 실제 수능 문제를 통해 문제를 풀어내는 기술을 배울 것이다. 고등학생들이 가장 어려워하는 빈칸 넣기 문제부터 설명할 것이다. 그럼 Renewable Energy Source를 완성하도록 하자. 문장을 책에 적고 문장 구도를 잡는 것은 독해의 맥 4권까지만 할 것이다. 독해의 맥 5권부터는 문장을 쓰지 않고 이미 인쇄된 내용에 부호 표시를 할 것이다. Renewable Energy Source를 시작하자. The most popular form of renewable energy is solar power. Many countries around the world started developing solar energy technologies after an abrupt rise in oil prices in the early 1970s. That abrupt rise in oil prices in the Middle East raised fear around the world about the reliance on fossil fuels from the Middle East. This prompted major countries, including the US, Japan, and Germany, to open research centers and solar power plants. But the excitement about solar energy began to decrease after oil prices stabilized in the early 1980s and consumers and companies went back to using fossil fuels. Interest in solar energy returned in the 2000s when scientists again began raising awareness to the relationship between fossil fuels and global warming. In Korea, solar power is a popular energy source. Companies here have been working to develop solar power since the 2000s. Rise in oil prices in 2008 made Korean companies focus on developing solar power. Today, the market for solar energy in Korea is growing at an alarming rate between 30 and 40% every year. The first commercial solar energy plant in the nation was built in late 2008 in Sinan, South Jeolla. It is the largest solar power plant in the country and can generate 24 megawatts of electricity in a year. Wind power is another popular source of renewable energy here. Although the amount of energy generated by wind power accounts for less than 1% of all the energy generated in the world, wind power has the potential to generate more than 16% of the world's energy in 2020 and 34% in 2050. A wind power generator is less complicated to set up than a solar power generator. However, the biggest flaw of the wind power generator is that it is dependent on the speed and direction of the wind, which is less predictable than the sun. The wind power farm in Gangwon province is the largest in Korea. It can generate 98 megawatts of energy in a single year. The government is also setting up a wind power farm on Jeju Island. Another renewable energy source the government is experimenting with is tidal energy. This energy source comes from the power of ocean waves. A tidal power plant is currently being built on Lake Siwa on the country's west coast. It is scheduled for completion next year. The tidal plant is the largest of its kind in the world and can generate 254 megawatts of power. When the plant is complete, the amount of energy it can produce will be equivalent to 862,000 barrels of crude oil imported from overseas. The plant will reduce the nation's carbon dioxide emissions by 315,000 tons. The government is also planning to build another tidal power plant that generates twice as much energy as the Siwa plant. Another form of renewable energy is bioenergy. This is a renewable source of energy made from biological materials. One kind of biofuel is bioethanol. It is mostly made from corn and sugar cane. Another is biodiesel, which is made of beans. These biofuels are being developed to replace gasoline and diesel fuel.